All right, welcome back, patrons. This is episode number 14, and it's Father's Day today, and it reminds me of something very sweet from my childhood, chocolates. And with chocolates, it's something is very synonymous, especially in India. It's Cadbury's chocolate,
Yeah,
and so today we'll be discussing how Cadbury has evolved itself as a product over the time and the various marketing techniques that have applied.
yeah.
So, Anmol, what is your fondest memory about Cadbury's chocolate?
Gifting it to my sister on Raksha Bandhan, getting
Right.
it during schools. So, I still remember when I was in my KG class. So, one of the teachers, I won some competition. She gave me this box of Cadbury chocolates, and I was really happy. So, there has been a lot of memories. It's not just, chocolate, it's a box of memories. So,
Right.
yeah,
You
and
you
you
were
tell, like in your case, it is much more relevant.
right. I mean, no, I mean, relevant. I mean, it's relevant in every era. Right.
Yeah,
I'm still a little senior to you, so I have a different kind of memory about
yeah.
Cadbury's chocolate. I grew up calling the chocolate for me was Cadbury's. So if my dad was going out, I used to say, Please get me Cadbury's," Or at that time, yes, there was Amul chocolate as well. So Amul chocolate and but something that at that time, yes, chocolate. Anybody who's coming at home, or if there is a child at home, so the
Right,
people, my uncles, my mamas, and chachas, or older brothers, whoever was coming at home, they knew I was at home, and
right.
uh, I knew if I saw them putting their hand in the pocket, I knew something. There will be a shiny purple blue packet that will be coming out.
Exactly. It
Either
all
it'll be
made us happy. It all.
yeah, it'll be a Cadbury's Dairy Milk or Five Star or Gems, you know. And another, yes, Cadbury's does make many other products. For another favorite drink of mine is Bonvita. I'm an adult. I still enjoy it a lot,
Right.
right?
It
So
tastes good.
it tastes very good. But yes, but fondest memories about Cadbury's is receiving those chocolate packets and those blue one. At that time, it was slightly different. It used to come in a sleeve. The chocolate was wrapped in an aluminum foil, and it that used to be kept inside a paper sleeve, which was slightly that bluish purplish color, and there's a white band on which, in that classy font, they used to write Cadbury's Dairy
Cadbury.
Milk. And my favorite was Fruit and Nut, still is. Over the time, the quality has changed. I still miss the old, the hard chocolate that used to come. So that is my fondest memory of Cadbury's. Amul chocolate was there in the market, but I still, for me, chocolate, if I've been around the world, and I have eaten chocolates from various parts of the world, the best as well. But still, for me, the taste of chocolate is Cadbury's.
Yeah,
Right.
Cadbury has made an impact.
It has definitely made an impact. It is, for sure, as far as I'm concerned, it is the market leader
Yeah, it is.
in India. And I always thought it is Indian when I was a child, but it is a British brand, and quite obviously, it stayed with like everything British that stayed back in India. It is one of the good things that the English left in India.
Exactly.
So the company itself is very old. It was established in 1905,
Right.
and yes. So, but as I grew, but the things change.
Yeah.
Coming to your when you were born, like when I was young, at that time, yes, like I said, it was a gift for kids,
It's
and in India, we mold words according to our convenience, right? So chocolate is synonymous with every toffee or anything, unless you are very particular grammar Nazi. If any toffee or any sweet that is wrapped, just kids call it chocolate.
yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, so everything is chocolate for kids. Beta chocolate khayega kya? Right.
Correct.
I knew my chocolate as a kid also. I knew chocolate is chocolate, but a lot of times uncles used to come like chocolate kha. but it used to be a regular toffee, and I used to be seriously disappointed. But that is the whole. At least till my generation, that was there. Nowadays, kids are more
Yeah.
particular and educated,
And
right?
nowadays, Cadbury has also expanded because of it. If you
Yeah, yeah.
see,
No, so I was actually coming to that. So Cadbury wanted to break that mold,
yes,
that chocolate and toffee. So chocolate and toffee, and I still remember that song, Madhuri Dixit song from Hum Aapke Hain Kaun, chocolate lime juice. The irritating song that used to come on radio. So it was all lime juice and toffees and chocolates were taken spoken about in the same breath.
right.
Only Amul had created this aura around itself at that time. Amul ad used to say, Amul chocolate, a gift for someone you love.
Hmm.
Right. So at that time, yes, those times, my uncle aunties, young uncle aunties, and bhaiyas, and they used to, buy Amul chocolates for their girlfriends. Right. And I think Cadbury's realized that slightly late in the market, that they were losing out to Amul in this field, and they want to change their entire image about being just for the kids. And they started with Cadbury's Kuch Meetha Ho Jaye campaign in the early
Yeah.
2000s, late 90s. This started coming, and that is when Cadbury started coming with what you were talking about, getting that chocolate boxes and all. That doesn't exist when I was a child. Yes, people used to make the whole hamper themselves, but entire box of different chocolates. And so I still remember when the Kuch Meetha Ho Jaye ad came, Amitabh Bachchan was there. And actually, that reminds me, I told you about the packaging of Cadbury's. Right?
Yes.
At that time, it used to come wrapped in an aluminum foil, right? And simple paper sleeve. And it's the same way that you will go to any Ooty chocolate or somewhere, they will wrap the chocolates. They still do that with the local chocolates, they still do that. But something happened during that time is in Pune, they found worms in Cadbury chocolate.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was a very bad PR for Cadbury's,
it
and
is. It is for any brand.
yes, 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 and there was a huge protest against Cadbury's. Uh, I still remember it was a big thing, whole media coverage, and by that time, media was big. It was not just Doordarshan; it was cable TV was full bloom. And so Cadbury's faced a huge backlash because of it, and they changed the packaging. So that was the first time they changed the packaging. It started coming in these sealed uh, plastic wrappers, which is now a nuisance. We
Hmm.
want to go plastic free, but we were the ones who imposed it on all
Imposed
the
it in the first
companies
place. Yeah.
that we wanted at that time. Everything was plastic. Plastic was a big yes. My mother exchanged all her plastic aluminum jars for and metal jars for pearl pet jars, that which were big. Well, that is a different discussion. So yeah, at the same time, yes, and Amitabh Bachchan was the brand ambassador at that time, and he used to promote and these ads like "Kya baat hai zindagi mein." You guys see it on YouTube
Yeah.
these days, but and they made a new version of it where there's cricketers playing
Yeah.
and
Yeah. We
the
have.
sticks.
We have saw
Yes,
that. Yeah.
and his girlfriend comes dancing, and she puts big chocolate Cadbury's bar
Right. Right.
in his
And
mouth.
I think it is one of the most famous ads of the era at that point of time.
Yes,
कुछ
and
खास हो जाए ऐसा कुछ
like
करके.
कुछ खास हो जाए, कुछ मीठा हो जाए, and कुछ
Right.
खास है जिंदगी में, कुछ बात है जिंदगी में. So that was the first time when Cadbury started. It's what is nice is they didn't make it obvious. They did it very subtly,
Yeah.
slowly
That's
and
why
steady.
they they
Right.
made.
You didn't even realize and that they're doing it. Now we're talking about 20 or 30 years later, after that, 25 years later, after that ad first aired, you and I were sitting here and we're wondering, oh wow, what a genius what they did. uh, how they broke the image of being just for children, right?
That is the,
Right.
toughest thing to do in a world, to change
That
someone's
was one of the
perception.
first ad, and that was followed by kuch meeta ho jaye. Right, that is when the chocolate boxes started coming, and these Diwali gift, and
Yeah.
uh,
Son
then
Papdi has gone out of trend.
Son Papdi, or even all the mithais are gone.
Yeah.
Sweet
Now
means
everyone prefers, just go and buy a 250 rupees box of Cadbury and gift it to, and everybody
right.
loves it because the
Everybody loves it.
box is filled with different chocolates. And I don't
Hmm.
think there are, 1% people in the world who don't like chocolate. Everyone else wants to eat it.
Right. So slowly and steadily, how they started changing their image, but that is why I felt that Amul was way ahead of its time. They knew they
Right.
didn't. They wanted to create it differently. Nowadays, we don't see Amul chocolate as much, but they and Amul chocolate. If you had opened their chocolate bar at that time, each cube, even they had their cubes. Cadbury had squares, but Amul chocolate had rectangles, as I remember, and each rectangle, someone had, there was a handshake, or there was these doll-like couple kissing or something. Like
Oh,
each one had a different.
made for lovers.
Yes, it was made for lovers and friendship, and you know, a gift for someone you love. Oh, marketing genius. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh, uh,
I see you
so
remembering those days.
Oh, when you talk about, see, now they're playing on this nostalgia, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you tell me, like, what has been, how you have seen. Obviously, you have seen Cadbury's evolve over the time.
Yeah.
You're not that young as well.
Yeah, it's
So,
all.
what has been your
Right, right.
uh,
So I still remember when I was in first or second class. So when everybody birthdays used to happen, we used to distribute Cadbury eclairs. That was one of
Cadbury
my
eclairs?
favorite toffees. And till date, when I get it, I'm really happy. So
It
that
was.
toffee, my
Hmm,
memories go back to then.
hmm.
Because I remember my parents used to not allow me, don't eat chocolate, तुम्हारे दांत खराब हो जाएंगे. All this happened. But I used to remember that when my birthday was there, I used to take a box of these toffees and distribute it everywhere. And
I
everyone used
especially
to,
loved eclairs, and I still remember the eclair ads also.
yeah,
As a kid, I used to do that. I used to wait for that, eclairs to pop and that liquid to come out.
yeah, liquid chocolate
And
to be.
earlier, it was like we used to do. I used to think only I do it, and then when I grew up slowly, later, at a later age, that I was in my 20s at that time, or no, maybe I was a teenager when these ads came where this guy is chewing his eclair and he's waiting for it to pop in his mouth.
Right,
So this is where they started playing with the nostalgia also. So
exactly.
like how much observation that you put into what your customers are doing with your product.
Right.
How many of
And
us think,
after eclairs, if you remember, they launched a laddu also, chocolate ka
yeah,
laddu.
man mein laddu phuta,
One mein
right?
laddu phoota, yeah.
But still, yeah. So again, they've changed the meaning of laddu. Right?
Yeah,
It is chocolate laddu. But anyways, but that, what a customer is doing with an eclair, right?
yeah,
You're waiting for that center to come and pop into your mouth. And so, like I said, maybe I used to think I'm the only one doing it, right? For it to melt and open up, and everyone has a different way of doing it. So, the observation and how you create a nostalgia, so amount of research that would have gone into it.
totally.
You
It's
talk to
commendable.
people.
It is
So,
commendable. They would have done a lot of market research to understand what the customers are feeling about the product. And
right.
that's why now Cadbury is such so huge that people just say, I want Cadbury ka gift box de do, when they go to the shops.
Hmm.
So even I remember
Like I
last.
said, they pushed out Amul chocolate completely out of the
Yeah,
market. You don't see Amul chocolate.
where so there are one is Cadbury. Cadbury is the most popular brand.
Hmm.
If I want to have dark chocolate, surely I will go for Amul dark chocolate. That's where I
Amul, yeah.
just prefer
Yeah,
Amul.
that is why
And
Amul is there. Yeah.
yeah, and Amul itself,
Hmm.
and nothing else.
Nothing else. Hershey's, though, I don't like, but I mean,
Hershey's, yeah.
no offense to people who like Hershey's, but it is not for Indian palate for
Yeah,
sure.
it is not for Indian. So yeah, Cadbury has made their product so perfect for the Indian market that now everybody loves it. Even I remember when I was a kid, I used to buy the small 5 rupees gems ka packet. Usme there was 5 to 10 pieces. I used to come home, सबको एक एक piece दिया, and everyone was happy.
Right.
You know, so Cadbury is playing so hard on emotions. Their ads used to be like that. So
Right.
when I was in sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth class, I used to watch a lot of TV, and even on these channels like Nat Geo,
Mm,
Discovery, Animal Planet, and all, Cadbury ad used to come. So
mm,
you always used to wonder,
mm.
okay, this is what I am going to try next. This is what I am going to eat next. This, you know, it always, and their ads were in such a way that you could eat by just seeing them.
Right.
They start
Oh,
to give
that
you
reminds me of
attraction.
one of the Cadbury ads. Again, I think I might be a teenager at that time. When you know how, like again, they're changing perception. There's this old English gentleman sitting in a typical English villa, and he's overlooking these beautiful grasslands and mountains, and he's relaxing on his armchair, and he breaks 3 cubes of Cadbury chocolate, and he puts the whole thing in his mouth, and then he relaxes. So again, changing the perception. It's meant for old people also.
Right, exactly. Earlier, when I was a kid, I used to remember my parents were saying, still they used to say chocolate खाओगे ये हो जाएगा वो हो जाएगा. And then I also remember that when I was in second or third class, again a case against Cadbury was made that their chocolate had some worm or something. I don't exactly
Mm,
remember, but yeah. So
mm,
1 or 2 years, then I was not eating chocolate, and then again the brand was back in the market again
right.
with full power. And you see now. So recently, I met with one of my cousins. So she is around 3 4 year old.
Mm.
भैया कैडबरी लाए मेरे लिए सबसे पहली
So
बात.
things have changed since
Things
since
have changed.
the time when I was a kid, and the kids today, they still want expect Cadburys when you
They
come.
expect Cadbury, and if you take any other chocolate, they will start making faces, and they won't like it. Cadbury is now everyone's preference, especially the kind of lineup they have brought into the market. Seeing
Mm,
the customer behavior,
mm.
their Oreo chocolate is a hit.
Another product is Cadbury's Gems.
Gems,
N- uh, the Gems is actually a copies of M&M's.
M&M, yeah,
Yes, but M&M's couldn't make it to Indian market because Gems has such a huge foothold in India.
right,
Right, and they now again they're playing with nostalgia. Look at the Cadbury's Gems ad. Like they're these older people doing stupid things just to get their favorite color gems, and they're
right,
like Man ka Bacha
right.
ads. Remember where
Yes, yes, yes. I
this
remember that.
guy where this guy is looking at this whole art piece made out of gems, and he sees that blue gems which is his favorite. He pulls it out, and he's like
You
Man
know,
ka Bacha.
I will tell you one thing. When I was in my seventh or eighth class, I used to watch. I had watched this movie Willy the Wonka, so I was imagining
Willy
it as a
Wonka.
Cadbury factory. I
Yeah,
wanted to go there and just live there. I didn't want it to
uh,
come out.
all our fantasies were like that. I used to think like my favorite was Cadbury's Nutties.
Yeah,
Okay, Nutties.
nutty.
Oh, I'll die for it. I think they've changed the taste. Like everything has changed.
Yeah.
Nutties has also changed, but still, I steal my son's Nutties and I eat it, and he
Yes,
hides
my
it
dad
from me
also
because
does
he
the
knows
same.
Papa is gonna eat it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My dad also does the same. He takes away my gems.
Right. So,
So, but
uh,
coming to the point of marketing,
mm,
all of this they have captured it so well. Like we cannot imagine life without Cadbury. If you see,
yes, you cannot imagine life without Cadbury's.
right?
I mean,
You know,
like for me, chocolate. I like. My father was also is in merchant navy. He used to bring chocolates from Malaysia and all. I used to hate those chocolates. First of all, yeah, some of the Swiss chocolates and all. I used to enjoy it, but not as
it
much
was
as.
one time enjoyment.
Yeah, that is not something I would. I mean, for me, chocolate is like the wholesome Cadbury bar. That dairy milk.
Exactly.
Yeah, I still like even the new Cadbury products like that Dairy Milk Silk and that bubble thing that they have brought out. I don't enjoy it as much as
Yeah,
the actual Cadbury
authentic one.
dairy milk is there. Dairy milk, fruit and nut. I miss that a lot. I don't see that in market as much these
Yeah.
days. But at that time, it used to look like that OT chocolate, full of nuts and raisins. It used to pop out from that, and I used to love it. Oh,
Yeah, but
my
yeah,
mouth is watering talking about it.
our audience will also think the same.
No, guys, this is a very this actually this episode is to bring out the child in us and bring back
Exactly.
memories.
And
Yes, we are
tell
talking
you about
marketing,
how
but at the same time, we are reminiscing and the sweet nothings of our life.
exactly.
Mhm.
And so if you see how Cadbury has integrated them in our lives, is from an emotional standpoint, we see Cadbury in our daily life. Connecting with other person, we see Cadbury as a way to do it.
Or celebrations.
Celebration.
Celebrations. And first time, I think, yes, Amitabh Bachchan was the brand ambassador of Cadbury at that time. And there was this ad called Pappu Pass Ho Gaya. Which they use for Rahul Gandhi these days. And Pappu Pass Ho Gaya, Pappu Pass Ho Gaya, and Amitabh Bachchan is like a pan dukan wala or someone, I don't remember, but like, he's a Pappu Pass Ho Gaya, so he's distributing Cadbury's to everyone.
Happiness. And then if someone is sad, so if your kid is sad, you will just give him a Cadbury, he will be happy.
Hmm.
So Cadbury has played on emotions very, very well.
Hmm.
First thing is emotions, they have captured it well. Second thing what I see is the audience perspective and the mindset. So in 1990s,
Like
when
I said, with eclairs,
yeah,
they exactly knew what people are doing with eclairs in the mouth.
yeah,
Yeah, it is. I understand that is what eclairs is meant for. Like, but
but
everyone
they
is
knew
waiting.
that's how they designed the
How
product.
they are enjoying that eclairs, how it is sticking in your teeth, and they're
Yeah,
bringing back your nostalgia, so that when you see it, you're like, एक और बार करते हैं यार,
एक और
बचपन में
बारी
मैं
करते हैं.
ऐसा करता था.
Exactly, and that's how their sales have gone up. That's how they have become a market leader. Else they would have been, because there are so many brands. So if I go downstairs right now, there would be at least 10 chocolate brands that this guy have. But
Hmm.
बिकेगा एक ही. That is Dairy Milk, Cadbury,
Dairy milk.
Dairy Milk.
Dairy milk तो standard है. If
Yeah,
nothing,
and
dairy milk is there for you.
why it sells? Because everyone relates to Dairy Milk. You relate to Dairy Milk, I relate to Dairy Milk, we all have eaten it, and it's so into our mind. So it's like the case of we calling let's talk about, take the example of a phone.
Hmm.
मोबाइल फोन को हम आईफोन आईफोन बोलते हैं, मोबाइल
Hmm.
फोन नहीं बोलते. सेम इज विद द चॉकलेट, भाई डेरी मिल्क दो. चॉकलेट नहीं, डेरी मिल्क, आई नीड डेरी मिल्क.
अगर तुम्हारे पास आईफोन हो तो तुम आईफोन ही बोलोगे, मेरा
हाँ,
आईफोन कहाँ
हाँ, मेरा
गया.
आईफोन का क्या. सो सेम, if you go outside right now, there are so many products.
मेरा
JCB.
ओप्पो कहाँ गया नहीं बोलोगे. बट
Exactly.
ये मेरा आईफोन कहाँ गया.
Exactly.
हाँ,
Same is the case with excavator. You won't say excavator, you will say JCB. By JCB.
जेसीबी.
JCB की खुदाई.
जबकि कैटरपिलर के भी एक्सकेवेटर्स होते हैं.
हाँ.
बट
But you will say
जेसीबी नाम पड़
JCB.
गया है, जेसीबी नाम पड़ गया है.
Everything is
और
JCB.
जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल हमारे यहाँ वो लाइक फॉर द ऑटो रिक्शाज आर कॉल्ड
Yeah.
टेम्पो इन ऑल ओवर नॉर्थ इंडिया.
Yeah.
Tempo
Exactly.
is a company which used to
Tempo
make
is the
autos.
company. But yeah, everyone says Tempo guy.
Tempo, Mobile Oil.
Wheel oil. Exactly. So these brands are placed so well on emotions that they are so integrated in our minds, we cannot live without them. And that is the best way to market any product. Make
So
an
that you
impact.
become synonymous with that particular product.
So if you see all the top brands right now from the in the B2C space,
Hmm.
Apple, they play on emotions mostly. They tell you. So if our audience, they would have seen their events. What they do is, so
Hmm.
I still remember the last event that happened.
It has become like a ritual.
It has become like exactly,
It
ritual
has
is the
become
right
a
word.
ritual to attend. Like you ask me, भाई आपने attend किया क्या? Like, did you
Ah,
attend
exactly.
Apple event or
Royal
not?
Enfield.
Royal Enfield.
Royal Enfield, same thing. It's
So
so I'm
nowadays they've stopped it, but like when I bought my Bullet, you I had shown you that they had
yes,
their own social media, and so unfortunately that got hacked, and I recently saw on my lookout that it was the one of the IDs that was hacked for me. So but they had created entire social media, entire forum where you could talk about bikes. People are talking something as silly as मेरे बाइक से तेल लीक कर रहा है, और क्या किया जाए, my bike seized, what should I do. What they should have been doing on Facebook communities, and they created an entire ecosystem, and you put your bike registration number, model number, and you're feeling good about it, you're putting all that
exactly.
information out there.
Same is happening with Cadbury right now on social media. Go to Twitter, search for hashtag Cadbury. You will find so much content, So many
mm,
people tagging the brand, talking about it on Instagram. Also, this happens a lot.
mm, mhm,
There was some I know they're in this 50s and 60s. So he put a story,
mm.
nostalgia, hashtag
Nostalgia,
nostalgia.
yes.
Yeah,
Like I said,
and
Cadbury is entirely playing on nostalgia that they have built
yeah,
over time.
exactly.
In,
So
in London, there is an entire museum for old Cadbury chocolate boxes.
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So now telling our audience, the marketers that are watching it. So the lessons that you learn from all the things that we have told you, the core thing is play on emotions. Understand your audience's emotions. Like Cadbury plays on nostalgia, Royal Enfield plays on the feeling of being connected with your bike. So we as men, we really like.
But how do you do that? How do
Yeah,
you do that? How do you play on emotions? You can just be cliched and start playing on someone's emotion.
no, that
Why
won't happen.
was Bullet, or why was Royal Enfield, or why was Cadbury or Apple of the world? They were able to do what they're doing right now is because they understood what customers. They exactly knew what the customer was doing with their product. Like I said, uh, they exactly knew what we were doing with eclairs when we kept it in our mouth.
Exactly.
How eclairs sweets, or when someone is eating five star, that Ramesh Suresh ad of a five
Yeah,
star.
Ramesh Suresh had.
Master ji,
Yeah,
पिताजी की पतलून एक बलंग छोटी कर दो. So, creating those campaigns, and you look at it like you think, oh, where's okay, that again ad is nostalgic ad. Those guys have that 70s haircut, so they want to tell that five star has been there for so long,
exactly.
right?
It automatically builds a trust.
Yeah,
When I
they
see that
create
ad.
that old movie sort of, that Rajesh Khanna and they kind of movie vibe in those ads, and they take you back in time,
Exactly.
right? And yes, you are there, and it's funny. It has a recall value. Mother found Ramesh Suresh very irritating, but again, that is the whole point.
How I see it is they have made ads for every target audience. So for kids, the ads are different. For Raksha Bandhan, ads are different.
Exactly. That is what
Parent
I
ads are
told my
different.
mom. You're not the target audience.
Exactly.
It is meant for those, the harami londas like me. Who will enjoy that ad. You're not the, you're Dadi Amma now.
You're right.
You're a dinosaur. So she got angry. Oh my God, she's gonna watch this. But yes, mom, you are great. But I'm the harami londa, so it is meant for me.
Yeah.
Uh, so
Yeah, every campaign is curated to a certain audience. That's where these guys win.
hmm,
They curate to their audience on the terms of emotions. A kid will feel a different emotion. A guy who is a teenager will feel a different emotion. If I want to target a teenager or if I want to target someone who is in their 20s, so the ad will be much different. It will be young, it will be energetic, or
hmm,
maybe if I am targeting 25 to 30, those may I will show more of the connection with their partners or something like that, because people are getting married, and then
hmm,
after that for their kids, then after that. So they have curated so many ads for so many different segments, and they know basically how to talk to their audience. that
hmm.
that that is the key thing with all of these brands. Royal Enfield knows how to talk to their audience. Harley knows how to talk to their audience. That's why we feel a emotion. Even if I don't own a Royal Enfield, but whenever I see that bike, I just connect that someday I want that bike.
It's an aspirational product.
It is an aspirational product.
It
With
is an aspirational
Cadbury,
product.
whenever I see a dairy milk, there is a taste that come in my mouth, so I want to buy it.
Or
Whenever I,
when you're going for to someone you care, or you're going to your girlfriend, you can't think of anything. The
yeah,
dairy milk is always there to save your life,
exactly.
right? So no one will get pissed off that you brought them dairy milk.
Exactly, no one will get pissed off. And
Even if you buy a gift, you stick one dairy milk on top.
right,
Is that added cherry on the top?
yeah, right. So that is the thing. The Cadbury has been able to tap into the market, because earlier chocolate was known to be a great product. Then they started to play on the nostalgia,
Oh,
emotions.
talking about nostalgia, I still remember Dairy Milk. Obviously, there was this big bar. Okay, then they used to come up with these smaller bars, which had different animals on it. There was
No,
sometimes a whale. There was a tiger or a giraffe. So these, and I used to enjoy getting those. Now that we are talking about it. It reminds me. And then there was a smaller bar with that cubes also, but then they came up with these. This was also there with the different animals on it. And I still remember, I don't know why they stopped it. It was such a great gift for children. I used to
Right.
like, I'm gonna eat the whale. Sometimes I wanted to save it, or I used to eat around it.
Yeah, talking like you just told, I just remembered that there was a packing of gems where they used to give that game. There was three dots, there was a
Oh,
ball.
you can't, I don't even know what they did with gems in
Yeah.
late 90s. The What extent they went with gems. They had created an entire character called James Bond.
Oh,
Ha! And that time, James Bond movie had also made a comeback, and this guy, he used to drive this car, and just like James Bond cars shoots laser, his car used to shoot out
gems.
gems from the back.
Wow.
It was a cartoon character, like a child wearing tux like James Bond, and then like, we used to take the Telegraph newspaper and Times of India that time, and there used to be a kids column, and it was entirely dominated by Gems ad, and there were these different games. How they used to engage. I used to wait for those games. I used to collect them. Then you could uh, finish those games and post it, and you can get certain goodies from Cadbury's as well.
Right.
So yeah, so that time, that those kind of interactions were there. Obviously, social media was nowhere, and there was
Right.
no internet also in India at that time.
Right.
Yeah, so this was, yeah. I mean, I was in the school, still in the school. Yeah, so
Yeah, if you just see, Cadbury is doing so much of marketing. They are doing a lot of innovative campaigns.
hmm.
Gemska, if you remember that ball.
Ball, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. The
Another
ball.
example.
My kid is will kill for those balls. He has a whole collection of those balls.
Yeah, even I had.
I was just looking around. I might pick it up and show you. He has like at least half a dozen of them. And
Yeah,
now he said, "Okay,
kids
now I'm
love it.
satisfied. I've got pretty much all the colors that exist."
Yeah, the so Cadbury has been,
It is the same old gems inside
yeah,
that chota packet of 5 rupees wala, but that ball costs you bloody 60 rupees.
right.
So you
That's how
pay.
they are so profitable. They are able
Yeah,
to sell it,
this is again value addition.
value addition.
How do
We all
you?
love it. If your audience sees the value in your product, they will pay you.
One thing that, what is that egg chocolate layer, the thing with
Kinder
sweet?
Joy.
Kinder Joy. My kid was crazy about it, but I've come to know that it is very bad for health. But
Yes, it is
yes,
bad.
so usually I used to buy it just for the toy that comes inside it, and I throw the rest of it. But he used to love eating that laddu and cream inside it, and uh, that time we used to, I mean, used to get it as gifts. But yeah, again, another marketing gimmick, and kids remember it. Like, he's gonna
Yeah,
remember all his life that Kinder Joy
exactly.
had those toys in it.
Yeah, yeah. That's how these brands have able to crack into the market so deep that they, Cadbury, no one
Yeah.
can shake it out
Oh,
easily.
now that you're reminding me, I still remember the ads of Cadbury's now, and how deliciously they used to make it. And that time, these Cadbury lollipops used to come. It was pretty much like eclairs on a stick,
Wow.
round. It was delicious. Again, I don't know why they discontinued that. So for that, when the ad used to come, they used to show that, and as a kid, I used to drool over that ad. There's a stick, and like, like the pouring and the filling that chocolate inside it, and then they shut it over. Oh, I used to kill for that. And the stick used to be paper stick.
Oh,
No plastic stick. At that time, it was all for rest of the lollipops. It was plastic stick, but for this one, it used to be paper stick, and I used to love finishing it off. And that paper stick used to open up like a sheet.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So yeah. So I if someone from Cadbury is watching this, I think you should bring back that product, and I'm gonna have it. I used to love that lollipop.
Now, as I am talking to you,
Oh, it has
I'm also
brought back
realizing
my so many memories. I'm gonna
exactly.
I'm gonna go to the shop and check what products are still exist.
That's what I was thinking. After this episode, I'm immediately going to the shop down below and see.
Because for a long time I used to think that they have stopped making nutties, and when
Right.
I saw nutties, I went crazy. I told my kid, like, you gotta taste this, and he was like, no, 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 I don't know what is this. When he tasted it, obviously he fell in love with it. Now he hides it from me. So next is like, I hope that the Cadbury's bring back that chocolate, and in the same packaging, that lollipop. Oh, I would love to have that again.
Let's hope Cadbury guys sees it and they bring it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my
So
sugar is already shooting up just talking about all these things.
yeah, so I think we have
Well,
talked.
we can't end this without talking about Kit Kat. How they, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
the ritual that they created around it themselves.
yeah, yeah,
Take
yeah.
a break,
Take
they
a
have
break.
a kid, yeah, have a Kit Kat. I mean, and still, like if someone bites Kit Kat, right, all three bars together, people cringe. It has become a cringe-worthy thing that you
Yeah,
don't open Kit Kat properly. You need to slide and break it, and when they introduced Kit Kat first time in the market, it came in the late 90s, actually early 2000s when Kit Kat was introduced in the market, and that is how they introduced Kit Kat. That this is how you must eat Kit Kat,
yeah. Even
and
I love it.
now nobody
I
can
love Kit Kat
imagine,
a lot.
like breaking Kit Kat any other way. It has to be broken that way and had.
That's why people connected to take a break.
Yes.
You
So
break it,
talking about
take a break.
rituals, Kit Kat did a very good job.
Yeah,
Take a break,
Kit Kat did
to
a
have
good
a
job.
Kit Kat.
Even when
Nestle. Well, but
uh,
Kit Kat is a Nestle product, not Cadbury's product.
but yeah,
Nestle people don't get offended. I mentioned that.
yeah. No, totally, totally. Kit Kat has done a lot in that terms.
Yes. So
Yeah,
yeah, there were Nestle products I used to enjoy. There was Nestle Crunch that had come. I used to love that, and I still remember I'd made my father buy this. Like my son makes me buy that gems. There was a truck with four different flavors of Nestle bars. There was Crunch, and then there was another one. Then there was another one, and like there was a truck that would open up, and like that dumper dozer truck sort of thing, and
okay.
there's a transparent dabba on top of that truck. Nothing special, but I went nuts, and
Crazy about it.
I was a pretty old kid. I was not even a toddler. I was like almost 12, 11 or 12 years old. But I made my father buy that. I wanted that red truck.
We all have been, somewhere crazy about the things that these guys do in terms of the
Yeah, I
campaigns.
ate all the chocolates, but kept that bahar ka jo cardboard wrapper, and I kept it in that truck. It looked so good with those chocolate uh, packets in it.
Right, right. Yeah,
Wow, to
lot
childhood.
of a lot of memories have come back.
Lot of memories. So yes, so this is what you should do with your product. If you want your product to be iconic, this is how create nostalgia around it and
Right,
make sure that it becomes a part of people's life.
lives.
Yeah.
All right, I think we are good to go for our audience.
So we
I
ended with
wish
a very
you all
sweet
have
note.
a
I'm gonna head to the shop and get myself a dairy milk, and the next thing is find out whether they still do that lollipop or not. If
if you
someone
find it,
is
just let us
listening to
know.
the podcast and you have had similar experiences with dairy milk, or you've had some unique experiences with chocolates, not just dairy milk, Amul chocolate, Nestle Crunch, Nestle Kit Kat, dairy milk, fruit and nut, uh,
Or any
nutties,
of the
gems. If anybody else played that James Bond game in the newspaper apart from me, please put that in the
comment section down below.
comment section. We would love to interact with you guys. We like-minded crackpots.
Awesome. I think this is good for our audience.
Yes.
So we'll come back with another case study like we did today and another episode with a lot of memories.
Well, it was less of a case study, more of a deep dive into our nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I'm
I
all
hope
covered in chocolate. Now I realize my memories are all chocolates. It's so chocolatey. Good memories.
good memories.
Happy
Chocolate makes
childhood.
it good. And happy. Yeah. So I think we are good to go. Thank
Yes,
you so much, our audience, for watching this chocolatey episode. We
yes.
hope you have a lot of fun
Please
while
like,
watching.
share, subscribe, and please interact with us. Talk to us. Share your experience. Share your feedback. You don't like us, you hate us, mention it.
Mention it.
But tell us what we are doing wrong so that we can improve ourselves.
Thank you so much for watching. We will be back soon. All right.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.